the one that we're mostly in is our mind, the one that's talking right now. So if I said to you, hey, do you want to go to the store tonight? Your mind is going to be the one to answer. It's like, yes, we should go to the store. We need eggs, this, that, this, that. It's like, all right. And that's what I call the smart ass. All right, smart ass. All right, thank you for your answer. But now let's ask our emotions, our feelings.
Good morning and welcome now to Thursday. Well, today the universe is going to attempt to restore love, balance, and harmony to your heart. And Sensei says there's a trick to opening up to receive, and I'll have those 3 steps in today's Megascope. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Thursday Namaste Today. Welcome to Namaste Today, the most loving way to start your day. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, stepº6. My modality is psychic astrology, and my personal mission is to stand in my heart, walk in the light, and promote peace on earth. Namaste, my friend, and welcome now to Thursday. Well, today will promise to be a great day. The God universe is trying to restore balance to your heart. The only question is, are you going to be open and ready to receive? In today's Megascope, I will give you the 3 important steps to receiving. But first, let's take a look at today's Zodiac weather. This Zodiac weather is for Thursday, July 28th, 2016. Well, looking at the 5-day moodcast, tomorrow is partly cloudy, but creative and rather dreamy. Saturday, you'll find yourself feeling sunny and super certain. But Sunday, there's a high chance of anxiety and some personal storms. Today, however, I'm predicting sunny and sweet. The universe is trying to attempt to restore balance to your heart today. Now, the great human walk is at step 6, Leo. That means our ruling channel today is channel 6, I receive. And that means our ruling planet today is the planet Venus. Now, looking at our emotional focus, today emotions are a little jumpy and hyperactive. That's because the moon is in Act 1 of Gemini, so thoughts trigger emotions. And our mental focus is ready to commit to love, because Mercury is at step 26, Leo. So today we are opening up to love and also looking at the big picture. And in today's Megascope, I'll give you 3 steps to restoring your personal balance. But first, get yourself some tea and let's have our daily tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is growing up psychic. I'm going to share with you kind of my observations of what it was like growing up psychic, because my heart just wants you to maybe identify. A lot of people also were psychic growing up and either knew it or didn't know it. So Sensei's just sharing some stories here of what it was like. Now, I didn't realize I was psychic growing up, to be honest with you. I thought I was extremely sensitive. In fact, through all my young, 0 through 9, I had asthma pretty bad as a kid, and I would get asthma attacks. Things would freak me out. And so I don't know what it was. I mean, I know it was triggered by emotion because, like, if we were going to Disneyland, I would get an asthma attack. I was so excited, okay? So it wasn't always negative or per se, but I was extremely sensitive. My mom is constantly having to nurture me and whatnot. Well, now that I know as an adult that I am an empath and a psychic, I realize that I was extremely sensitive. And some of my asthma is directly related to me feeling tension going on between my parents that they weren't talking about at that time. So I know a lot of subconscious tension was hitting me, and I was getting filled with anger and rage a lot as a kid and didn't know where it was coming from. And I now go back and go, that was just part of growing up being psychic. But there was more too. For instance, there was times, a lot of times in school, gotta be honest, did not know the answer to a test, just stared at it. God told me it's C or A or B, honestly. And when I didn't play that game, but I remember playing that game like, okay, because we didn't know the answers on one. So I'm like, I'm going to play the game, or I have the force to know. And this is all from my fun imagination. But once I got the paper back, I was like, right, a lot. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, wow, I'm really lucky. And that's the thing about growing up psychic. You just kind of think you're lucky. You think that you always tend to know which door to open, or what to ask, or or the answer. I remember when I was a kid, my father stopped me once. He asked me a question, and I was like, And my dad was like, why are you looking up at the sky? And I was like, I don't know. It was an honest question. I did always look up at the sky whenever someone asked me a question. And so I was like, when I answered from my dad, honestly, I was like, I don't know. The answer just comes when I look at the sky. And Dad's like, really? And I was like, yeah. He goes, didn't come like this? Like, look that way. I was like, no, when I look at the sky, it comes for some reason. So a lot of times answers came and I didn't know where from. It also got me into a lot of trouble, I have to say, being psychic growing up, because I had a very loose mouth. I had a desire to be an entertainer, to be funny, to always be that, to warm everyone up and get them into a good mood. It was something I loved doing. And so I'd be trying to throw out certain jokes, and I'd be throwing out what seemed to be witty jokes. I didn't realize that a lot of times I was making, a divorce joke right when they're considering divorce that day, or making, an abortion joke. I mean, I would go too far in the sense of shouldn't have said that, but that was me as a teenager, right, making abortion jokes, stuff like that. And then finding out that couple might have been dealing with something like that. So horrified later to find out, but and sometimes, and also getting a lot of wrath from people with my jokes and not knowing where that came from. And I think looking back, my psychic awareness knew the wrong thing to say. So that was also part of it, my mouth getting in trouble. But I think the most troubling part of being psychic as a kid was seeing people lie and not knowing what to do about it, because it was like people would sit there and tell me stuff and I was just completely new. They were lying to me, and I had my imagination was imagining what was really going on. I think that it was accurate psychic telling me what was really going on, but I had a real moral dilemma because I didn't know if I should tell someone, if I should keep it to myself. I always kept it to myself. I mean, it developed a real strong mirage with myself because we knew things that no one else knew. And, I think there's been past lives too where my mouth has definitely got me killed. So there's also an instinct of just shut up and keep it to yourself. Obviously, you're meant to know for you, but don't say anything. So it was also very, you feel like an alien, fish out of water, stranger in a strange land. Use any metaphor you want when you have this sense of things. And I have to say, just to wrap up this segment, being a psychic adult, same problems. There are things that I see right now going on in the world, and I have to say I'm a little frightened to share them. Like, I don't think I'm supposed to share them. There's things I definitely see. And so I think at the end of the day, I think we all have our connections and our information for a reason. And I think that if you are psychic and you identify with any of this, I think the first thing is to just make that sacred and start honoring it in yourself. All right, namaste. So I'd like to give you a little bit of a megascope. I'm going to take a sip of tea and channel for you a little advice. And this is for, of course, Thursday. Okay. Spirit actually had me open my eyes for a second. I was like, what? And it was like they were literally showing me a line. It's really interesting how that happens sometimes. Just go with the flow. So today's very important, and this is what they're literally saying to me, to be mindful of your heart. The moon is in Gemini, and so emotions are bouncing off of your thoughts. And at the same time, we're ready to open up. We're here to receive and get what's ours and restore balance to ourselves today. So the only way to do that is to be mindful of the heart. And what that means is that you have to be mindful of what the heart wants and wants now, not mindful of what it doesn't have. Okay, so when you're mindful of what you don't have, you're creating more emptiness and shutting yourself down. When you're mindful of what you want and you're grateful for when it will get here, it will come and restore you right away. So today, be mindful of the heart. Now I have 3 steps to help you restore balance to your heart today. Step number 1, be mindful of the heart. That's actually what my eyes went down to, and Spirit was like, no, 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 no. So be mindful of your heart. That is the first step. Step 2, open to what flows easiest. So one thing about restoring balance, it's always the path of least resistance. The easy way home, the easy way to get it done. You're not cheating by making it easy. Step 3, when it shows up, accept and receive. A lot of people cook, but then they don't eat the meal that they cooked. Make sure you eat and accept and receive today so you can restore balance. Now, for those who are watched over my personal Sensei service today, my serious joiners in your daily Zen, something called 2 wrongs don't make a right. And this is going to be where I share some of my personal beliefs about what's going on right now. And one of the lines I've realized is I'm not going to give my opinion in my free show. I'm only going to give my opinions, I think, personal opinions, for my subscribers. And that's not to be mean. That's actually to protect me behind a firewall and a credit card. So, but today we're going to talk about 2 wrongs don't make a right, some of the observations I'm having right now with society. And you're right, Candy, where you must open up to love right now. Okay, this is according to your natal data in your chart, where you need to open up right now. A reminder at 3 p.m. Everyone, if you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. It helps us with our subscriptions. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at step'r6. But if you'd like to be the bright star that you really are and you need a group of light to help you, come on down to seriousjoy.tv. We aim to help you and we aim to please. All right, so folks, I will see you in 24 hours with more. I'm so grateful to be a soul service. While you're out there shining bright, remember, I love you and live, love, be.
Why does every guy cheat on you? Trust me, I know. How come girls always call you their friend? I can tell you. We'll talk about your strengths and we'll talk about emotions. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Check out yours at secretsofbirthdays.com.